Peace, love, and light. We're back with another episode of Citations. My name is Saira Embra, and I am the High Priestess, here to give you tools to tap into your own inner divinity while I do the same. Here is a unique podcast episode. I'm super excited because it has to do with a Disney children's movie. And a fun fact about me, I actually absolutely love children's movies because they help me navigate my emotional and spiritual world even better. The reason why I'm laughing so much is not this past summer, but the summer before, so 2023. I went on my first cruise, and it happened to be a Disney cruise with my family, my sisters, and all that. It was super fun. And there was movies playing every single day, literally every single day. And every single day I cried at the end of every single movie. And this just shows me like how raw and authentic childhood and children's movies in general can be. And from an adult's perspective, like looking on, I just have so much more nuance when I'm watching these movies and shows, and so I grab a lot of spiritual wisdom from them. And so today I want to give my commentary on Inside Out from a spiritual perspective. So spoiler alert, if you have not seen the movie Inside Out, you probably should skip this podcast until after you watch the movie, unless you just like spoiled stuff. I entitled this commentary, Joy and Sadness Can Coexist. So from the time that we were uniquely crafted in our mother's womb, we have experienced consciousness. Once we took our first breath, we were able to better share our emotions with the world around us. And this is where Riley's journey begins in Inside Out. It's where all of our journeys begin anew on Earth. What makes the movie Inside Out so relatable is the personification of emotions across life's challenges and excitements. We each are seeking to understand ourselves more and the world around us, some more consciously than others. So understanding this paradox of reality is a gradual process. In this process, life will teach us, each and every one of us. Whether we learn the lesson first or the third time, we'll learn the lesson either way. Inside Out unites all of us, children and adults as well, in the deep knowing that we all want to thrive, experience, have fun, and express ourselves fully and authentically. So the beauty of the movie is how it depicts the unifying journey of being human with emotions, namely disgust, anger, fear, sadness, and joy. Seeing them as embodied characters provides nuance to the emotional experience. There are specific loops that these emotional characters play in, where even if they try to get out of their loops and be another emotion, they actually can't. This was evidenced when fear, anger, and disgust tried to hold it down at the command center, while sadness and joy went through the memory tube. The trio of the vital but lower frequency emotions couldn't handle life without bringing Riley to a level of apathy. Apathy meaning the inability to feel anything. And I want to bring your attention to the map of consciousness. This has been developed by David R. Hawkins, the map of consciousness. And it talks about the survival paradigm of the emotions, the reason and integrity paradigm, and then the higher emotions, the spiritual paradigm. Anger, fear, and disgust are on the survival paradigm. They are necessary for our own survival, but they don't bring us to the spiritual enlightenment that we may all be seeking or subconsciously seeking. And if you want to see the graph, I'll send you a link, or put the link below in the description with the blog. So when we move from a space of apathy, our zest for life is greatly diminished. From the outside looking in, a human may seem more robotic. And from the inside looking out, the same human is hurt, confused, and unsure of themselves. I felt this way, and maybe you felt the same. It feels like a tunnel of darkness, unsure of what to do or be next, yet wanting to be understood and to understand yourself. So how do we move up on the frequency scale when we feel apathy creeping in? Simple. By moving to the next best feeling. You may not be able to go from apathy to enthusiasm per se, but you can move from apathy to sadness. And in Riley's case, sadness transformed her apathetic state. She was able to share her concerns with her parents of being in a new city, missing her friends from the home that she grew up in. And being in that raw moment of sadness allowed her to feel deeply, to move to what her soul was seeking, which was love. The love of her family was able to wash over her, and the love that you give yourself can wash over you. Others' love is a bonus, sprinkles on the cake. Something else in the movie that stood out to me was the necessary role of sadness. Sadness is in our lives to show us the beauty and value that's all around us. It allows us to appreciate the good in our lives. From the perspective of sadness, she deeply feels while carrying nuanced perspective. When we sit up with our emotions, just like Joy did, Joy was able to understand the pain of sadness for herself. She was able to connect with the embodiment of sadness and see sadness's true value. This shows us that all our emotions are valid. They guide us. But when we give room for them all, harmony can exist. One emotion isn't better per se than the other. And in the movie, Joy realized that it isn't all about her. That Riley had to come to a deeper understanding of the various emotions within her in order to understand herself and others on a deeper level. Now that's powerful. So I absolutely loved the visuals that Inside Out gives us, especially when it comes to the subconscious mind. It's depicted as this dark place where all our fears live, like a cave. And it was protected by policemen arguing over a hat. And in this moment in the movie, it reminded me of a quote by Joseph Campbell. "The cave you fear to enter holds the treasure you seek." When we lean into fear, it can be the very thing that saves us. This was symbolized in Inside Out when the awakened clown ran after Joy, Sadness, and Bing Bong, Riley's imaginary friend, allowing them to escape from the depths of the subconscious mind to continue their mission on saving Riley. Your fears can push you. Your fears can push your need Your fears can be the push you need to your goals. Leaning into fear looks like continuing to do that thing that scares you. Whether it's sharing your creative work or passion, speaking up for yourself, and maintaining your boundaries. The cave you fear to enter holds the treasure you seek. This treasure that you seek is waiting for you on the other side of fear. And fear gets a lot smaller once you're willing to look it straight in the eye. It's a process your soul moves through as you encourage your authentic expression, however that looks for you. And so, let's shift gears a little bit and talk about the loss of imagination. And this was evident in the movie when Imagination Island was being taken down after Riley was growing up a bit and she wasn't so much in her baby toddler years. And it was being destroyed because of the lack of use. How many of us have experienced the conditioning and programming that play and imagination is just for children? And growing up means that we lose that. Our soul actually came here to play. Our soul came here to experience Earth and imagination throughout our whole entire lives, not just a certain part. When we see in the movie Riley's imaginary friend, Bing Bong, he was even willing to give up his existence for the whole of Riley's human experience. Imagination wants the best for us and can help us form a reality that we love for ourselves. It wants us to truly understand that anything we wish to experience can happen. It is a possibility in the quantum field. To learn more about the quantum field, if you haven't heard the podcast I did a couple weeks ago on the quantum field and quantum physics, I highly recommend you check that out. So there is a difference between being childish and childlike. Being childish looks like lack of accountability or inconsideration of others' feelings. However, being childlike involves exploration, curiosity, and dreaming and imagination. Ask yourself, what does growing up really mean if we forget the very thing that made us feel so alive in the first place? Imagination is where God lives. It is a playground of all that is. When we tap into our imagination through visualization techniques and even dream journaling, by connecting to the imagination, we connect with a deeply divine aspect of ourselves. There's beauty in all emotions. Till the next one. Bye.
I honor God when I honor me. I honor God when I honor you. You honor God when you honor me. If you don't honor God, how could you honor me?